Hey guys, this is E with Scrapbooking with me, and today we're going to make a cute card. And I know it's been out there forever, but I think this one is called a book card, something to that effect. But I just saw it and I thought I would give it a try, and I thought I would bring you along with me. Now, I have had lots and lots of people who have asked me to please go back to doing some upcycled projects, and I will get to that, I promise. I've just been a little bit crazy around here for a while now, and I haven't been able to do a long video. And the upcycle projects usually a little bit longer, so I'm just trying to get some good ideas of some cards and things up right now, since we've had Mother's Day, we have graduation, and then Father's Day coming up, things like that. But we will get back to those. Also on Instagram, if you go over and follow me on Instagram, it's Scrapbooking with me. I have posted over there a Q&A. All you need to do is list your questions, and on Friday we will do a video specifically geared toward just answering your questions. It can be personal, craft related, product related, whatever. So if you want to go over there and ask those questions, then we will put your name on the screen, or we'll tell your name on Friday, your Instagram name, that is, and we will read your question out and try our best to answer it. Okay, you're going to need a piece of cardstock that is 6 inches by 12 inches. Put it in your scoreboard on the 12-inch side, and you're just going to score it 6. All we're doing now is just making a card base. That is all that we're doing right this minute. So we're just making a card base. So there's that. We can lay that aside. Okay, and now we're going to do a little bit of cutting, and then we're going to do some more scoring. Now this piece measures 5.5 inches by 11.5 inches, and this is that beautiful coral out of the summer pack that we have in the shop. Now you're going to line this up at 3/4 of an inch on your scoreboard, and if you go to this side, you can see the 1 inch right there. The 3/4 of an inch is the dark line right before it. So line that up really straight on that line. Then you're going to go to, let's see, 1 3/4. So my 1 3/4 mark is right there. And I'm going to put this thing that goes across, that's where your blade is, so that will let you know that that's where it's going to start cutting. Put that right there, and then just press it down into my paper, and I'm going to cut down to the 9 3/4. Okay, then you're going to flip it around, and you're going to do the same thing on the other side. So put it on the 3/4 inch line, lining it up. Go up to the 1 3/4 inch mark on here. Press it down, and then bring it down to the 9 3/4 right there. Okay, so that's what you have. 2 pieces that are cut kind of like that. These measurements will be on my blog, and the direct link to the measurements will be below. Alright, now you're going to need your scoreboard again. So you're going to put this in on the 11.5 inch side. And the first thing you're going to do is score at 1 3/4, just the middle part. So there's our 1 3/4. So we're just going to score this middle right there. So you're scoring from one of those cuts to the other. Then you're going to go to the 2.5 inch mark, which is right here, and you're going to score just the middle. So just that middle part right there. Then you're going to go to the 9 inch, and you're going to score just the middle. So you're scoring between the cut lines that you just made. And then at 9 3/4 and just the middle. Okay, let me make sure that I got this one good and straight. So that's what you have so far. Let's see if we can get the slide up here where you can see that. Oh, maybe not. You'll be able to see it when we start folding it, and I will put these measurements on the blog. Okay, that's the fourth one. Now for the next one, you're going to go to 5 3/4 and you're going to score the whole thing. So 5 3/4 right here, you're going to score that. Then you're going to come across the middle part, and then you're going to score this bottom part. So you're going to score the whole thing all the way down. Then you're going to go to 3 3/4, which is right here, and you're just going to score the little cuts, 3 3/4. And then instead of trying to make that even all the way down, I just flip it over and score 3 3/4 right there. And then I flip it this way, score 3 3/4. And then I flip it over again and score 3 3/4. And I know that was kind of confusing. So let's go over the score lines one more time. First, you're going to score at 1 3/4, and you're just scoring between the cut lines. So from that cut line to this one. Then at 2 1/2 in the middle, from that cut line to this one. Then at 9 inches from that score line to this one. And then at 9 3/4 from here to here. Then go back to the center at 5 3/4, and you're going to score from there all the way down to there. Then you're going to go to 3 3/4, which is right here. So at 3 3/4, you're going to score just this top part, and then just the bottom one at 3 3/4. So right there and then here. Not the center. Don't score this. Just the top and the bottom. And then you go to 7 3/4, if that makes it easier for you than flipping it. 7 3/4, and you're going to score right there. Excuse me. And then you're going to come down and score that same thing at the bottom. And I will try to just draw this out on a white piece of paper so that you'll be able to see where I scored. That might make it a little bit easier for you. Okay, the first thing you're going to do is go ahead and fold the center one. Fold and burnish it. And then you're going to fold these, so just fold that one over and burnish it. And then fold that one. Burnish. And go to the other end and do the same thing. Okay, and then you are going to fold this back and just kind of burnish it that way. Go to the opposite end and fold that one back on itself like that, and burnish that. So you see it's starting to look like a little book right here. Then this one is going to fold out. I'm thinking this is a mountain. This is a valley. And then this is a mountain. And I think that's right. We'll see. If it's not, we'll fold it the other way. Okay, let's see. No, it goes the opposite. So it goes valley, mountain, and valley. So this first one right here is going to go valley, so you fold it back. You fold this one forward, and then you fold this one back, and you do the same thing on the bottom. So these two center pieces are like points sticking up. And then see, when your book is like that, it'll kind of sit on those pieces. And it's going to do a whole lot better when we get it put on the cardstock. Now you're going to mat these. So what you want to do is you're matting in between the score lines. This piece is cut at, let me find my ruler. This piece is cut at 3 inches by 3 3/4, and that's going to go down there. And then this one is cut at 2 3/4 by 3.5, and that's going to go on top of it. So we'll go ahead and put this mat on top of that one and then put it down. Then you're going to mat this one. Okay, so we've got our book matted. Let's do this. Fold it up. We'll show you how it folds. So this is how it's going to fold inside the card. So that's going to fold up just like that. So now we're going to put, I cut this out with my one of my little dies that I've had for a long, long time. And then I cut this piece out to go on top of it, and we're going to put that right there. But first we're going to stamp it. And I think I'm just going to use the stamp that says, "You're the best." So I'm going to lay it down and see if I can get it straight on my block. And we're just going to stamp it in some VersaFine ink. First I'm going to stick my finger in it. Okay, and that's going to go right there, but I think I'm going to actually pop it up just a little bit because we're going to have some dimension inside there, so it's not going to hurt to have this popped up. Oh, and that is just an old scallop die set that I've got, and it cuts, you know, the different sizes. I've had it for a long, long time. I'm thinking it's probably a Spellbinders. That's where I usually get mine. So we're going to put that right there. Okay, and now I'm going to do some tone-on-tone stamping. And this is, let me see which one I want to do. I think I'll do the smaller one. This is a rose, and it came out of Florette Blooms FB Stamps. That's the name of her company. And I will link her company below. I love the stamp set. It came out of those, and this stamp set is called Posies. And then this is the Abandoned Coral Distress ink. This is not the oxide, this is just the distress. So what we're going to do is just ink it up, and then we're just going to go around and do some stamping. And let me put a piece of paper down because I don't want to get ink everywhere and then have my card all inked up. So let's put that down, and we're going to turn the stamp different ways so that all of our flowers are going in every direction. We'll even stamp some of them a little lighter than others. And we're just going to stamp around the edges. We're not going to stamp up on the middle part. And I think I'm going to take this little leaf branch, this little branch, and I'm going to do the same thing and just fill in some spots. And I'm just going to use the same ink. I'm not going to change. Okay, I think that is good. Isn't that pretty? Let's see if you can see it. It's really dark here today. I apologize for that. There you go. You can see that now. I love tone-on-tone stamping. Okay, now what you want to do is bring your card base back out that we made a few moments ago. And you're going to start it at about, I'm going to say that's about 1/4 of an inch, a little over 1/4 of an inch, maybe 3/8. And you're just going to even this up in between there. And you want to pull it, you want to stretch this out. You don't want to leave it up like this. You want to stretch it out. So about right there, I would think. I'm going to put some of our art glitter glue on here because that'll give me a little bit of wiggle room. Okay, and you're going to put some right up to that first score line on these. So just bring it up to the score line. Don't go past it on both sides. That needs to be glued down, but not any more than that. And do that on both ends and both sides. Okay. And on here, on the ends, I did not go past that score line there. Alright, so let's see if we can put this thing down now. Go ahead and put one of the ends down, just kind of centering it up, and then just stretch that other one out and even it up and press it down. And that is it. There we go. Alright, now we can fold this up. Alright, that's how it's going to fold, just like that. And you see how the book box kind of comes out there, and when it sits up, and I'll have some good shots of this. I know you can't see it in the video of how when it sits up, it's got this sitting out here, kind of like that. I know you can't see it good, but I'll have some good shots of it so that you can see. Alright, now we're ready to put some things on the front. And I have got some mats cut. Now you could do this before you do the box if you want to. I like to go ahead and get my box and everything put on the inside before I do this. So what we're going to do is put, this mat is cut at, let me tell you what size it is. This is cut at 5 7/8 by 5 7/8. So we're going to put this down. So you're just going to have a tiny bit of that white that's going to peek out around that. So just like that. And then this one is cut at 5 5/8 by 5 5/8. So you're going to put that one down right there. So you're going to have a little bit of that orange, well, it's not orange, it's coral. So you're going to have a little bit of that coral that's going to peek out around that. Now to do a little bit of decorating, I've used this die set, and if I can find these, I will put the link below. It's an older set. I can't remember exactly where I got it or what company it's from. But I used those, and I cut out each one of them in a different color that kind of matched all the colors on top of here. And I think I'm going to put them down with just a thin layer of this foam tape. I'm not going to put a lot of dimension under there, just a thin layer. And I'm just going to kind of, I don't know if I'm going to center them. I think I'm going to put them off to the side a little bit because I'm going to put a sentiment down here. So I'm going to put it right there. And then I'll just get the next size and keep going until I build it up. Okay, and then last we're going to put this little thing right in the center right there. And I'm going to use some pop dots to do that so that I can make them really, really little. See if I can find my scissors. And we're just going to take a pretty piece of bling and put right in the top of that. And then we're just going to stamp our sentiment on some white paper and put that right there. And I've chosen the sentiment off the same stamp set, and it just says Let Love Bloom. And again, I will put the link to this stamp set from Floret down in the description below. So that just says Let Love Bloom, and then we're just going to cut it into a little banner. I'll put that right there, but I'm going to back this in something because that doesn't really stand out enough on that for me. So I think I might back it in that. Yeah, I think that'll work. So I'm going to put this up on some foam tape as well. Okay, and this is how I do when I'm going to cut a banner and do a mat under it. I just glue it down on the mat that I want, and then I just use my scissors and I just cut along the edge. To me, it's easier than trying to measure it, put it in the trimmer, and do that kind of thing. Okay, and then we're just going to put that right there. And again, I'm just going to use some of my foam tape to put that down with. Love this foam tape. And I'm just going to put that about right there. And then again, we'll pull a couple of these pieces of bling in there. Maybe put in the center of the flowers. That'd be cute. Okay. And then when you open it up, you've got your book. There we go, like that. And I know, like I said, you can't see that as well, but we will do some good pictures of it. Now, I'm going to put a piece of bling in here just to bring that to the inside. So I think I'll do one there. And maybe one down here. And maybe one right there. There we go. Okay, that is the card. It is thick, so it probably would have to go in a different envelope. It's a little bit thicker than normal. It's not quite too thick though, but it would still fit in a good envelope and mail. And you could always do this flat. You wouldn't have to pop it up like I did. But that is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this card. If you did, please give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. And we will leave some links to some other videos that you might like. We will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.